Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to day 7 of National Poetry Writing Month. Can you believe we are already a week in? And I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Today, we're going to keep it easy one more time, and we are going to embrace the quatrain, which is probably one of the most common forms of poetry that we see and encounter. And of course, I am joined by our fabulous monthly poetry writing buddy, and he's here for some encouragement and some fun and some love. And Zach is also here waving and cheering you guys on. So, a quatern or quatrain is a really awesome simple poem. This poem has 16 lines that are broken up into four line stanzas. So, 4 is the big key number for this. Each line is composed of 8 syllables. The first line is a refrain. In the second stanza, the refrain appears in the second line. In the third stanza, it's in the third line. And in the fourth stanza, it's the final line. There are no rules for rhymes or pentameter or anything like that. So it's really just a cool way to utilize your fabulous formatting. And something that a lot of people don't like to talk about in poetry that's kind of cool is a poem that is written in stanzas of 4 lines, especially these quatrains, um, is a poem that conveys stability. So that's really cool and something that I think can be used a lot in reading poetry, in understanding poetry, and also can be an intentional device in writing poetry. So, this is Robert Lee Brewer's As the Sun Set in the Forest, and it's a great example of this style of poetry. As the sun set in the forest, she slipped out of her slip. She left it on a branch and then asked me to follow. Her bells became stars. When the boomerang moon melted as the sun set in the forest, her trail went cold. I tried to find which way, but only the raven knows. The moon caught a glimpse of sun, but shadow clouds surrounded her as the sun set in the forest. There was nothing I could explain. She was naked, and I was scared of having her promises, not that I could ever keep them as the sun set in the forest. And something that's kind of cool about this form of poetry, despite its simplicity, for lack of a better word, it is actually a French style of poem, which is really kind of cool and not something that we see a lot with the more simplistic poems. So that's kind of fun and really exciting in its own way because knowing the history of a poem can help you to embrace it and can help you really make the most of what the style has to offer. And I don't think that as many poets take advantage of that as they could. And I think that it makes reading poetry really interesting. Here's another example. This is Life's Pulse, the Gypsy Song. As dark-haired beauties celebrate while moving round the firelight, their slender swirling hips gyrate, and on they dance into the night. The flames dance too beneath the moon as dark-haired beauties celebrate, their fathers clap and play a tune, the merry clan perpetuate. Then each young man takes hold a mate, he's chosen in the ring of fire, as dark-haired beauties celebrate, their flashing eyes ignite desire. The mothers sit and smile, they know the music will soon abate, life's pulse is found by campfires glow, as dark-haired beauties celebrate. Another example of this style is True Love Redefined by Linda Newman. One day she hopes true love to find. One soul, one mind, two hearts intertwined. Somewhere out there there's the perfect guy, for youth has set her standards high. He must be rich, handsome, refined. One day she hopes true love to find. Yet no one seems to measure up, and disappointment fills her cup. The years go by, her nights grow long, her aging voice sings sorrow's song. One day she hopes true love to find, her definition redefined. Simply a plain and faithful friend to see her life's journeys end. For though her face with age be lined, one day she hopes true love to find. So some of those rhymed. This style of poem does not have to rhyme, though it can. That's something that you get to play with and something that you really get to embrace as you choose. Okay, so this is a Robert Frost poem. And I know some of you really love his work and some of you really hate his work, but bear with me. I really like this poem, and it is another fabulous example of a quatern. So let's celebrate. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives my harness bells a shake to ask if there's some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. And something really interesting about this is that Frost does actually have that refrain, but it's not the exact same phrase. It's the same concept. So that's a rule that you can kind of break as you get to know the style, and that's something that you get to take some really cool creative license with. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of our mini NaNoWriMo Camp NaNoWriMo and National Poetry Writing Month workshops. My goodness, these acronyms are going to be tongue twisters and are going to give me a run for my money this month. But I'm excited as always to be here with you. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Leave your poems in the comments or on your social media places and share it with us. Can't wait to see what you're up to. It has been a full week, so I'd also like to invite you to take a moment to be proud of all the progress you've made, whether you're writing every day or just a few days, or just dabbling and seeing what sparks your interest. All of it is amazing and fabulous. Also, since we're here and we're hanging out, I want to give you a quick update. Usually, Poem in Your Pocket Day is the last day of April. This year, however, for some reason, it has been moved to April 27th, which is clearly not the last day of the month. So, I invite you to update your calendars, make note of this, and get ready to celebrate Poem in Your Pocket Day with me, because you know I'm going to go all out just like I do every other year. This is a holiday I've celebrated for 2 full decades, and I'm going to continue that challenge. Just like I hope you will be inspired to join me, to keep a poem in your pocket, and to celebrate with me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying. And as always, I'll be back tomorrow with another of these mini workshops. Bye for now, and happy writing, everyone.